Hey guys, so today I'm going to do a product review video for the Zoeva on Taupe palette. If you saw yesterday's video, then you know that I got this as part of a gift package from my friend June, and I was really curious about this because, like I mentioned in yesterday's video, I had seen in one of Kathleen Light's videos. I'm sure a lot of you know who she is. She's a really popular person here on YouTube. She had received a package from Zoeva with several different palettes in it. And in that video, she said that she didn't like all the palettes, but there was one in particular that she really liked. It wasn't this one, but she had put it in her monthly favorites video, and ever since then I was really curious about just the brand's eyeshadow palettes in general. So I was thrilled when I got this as part of my gift package from my friend. I wasn't really sure if it would be a good idea or not to do this video because it's kind of awkward situation, because part of me really wants to do this video today and give you an honest opinion about this palette, but then part of me was not so sure that was a great idea because this was a gift. So how could someone honestly review a palette like this that they had mixed feelings about and not have it be awkward, So I think that my friendship, hopefully, with my friend is strong enough that I can give an honest review of this and not have her be offended or have her feelings hurt in any way, because she loves this palette. So, see, this is what it boils down to, is different people can use different things and then have a different opinion about it. It boils down to one person's opinion versus another. Because, let's face it, she would not have sent me this palette unless she liked it, and she did tell me in an email that, she really likes this palette. But different people, things work differently for different people. So anyways, you should know going into this that I do have mixed feelings about this. And I'm putting my friendship at risk by giving you an honest opinion. But I really wanted to do this video anyway because I think that it's important to get this video out there to you guys, because when you order from Zoeva, they ship internationally. You can go on their website, and I think no matter what country you live in, they will ship to you. They charge you $15 shipping, and I don't know if it's a flat rate shipping or if it's a price per item type of thing, but I know it's $15 shipping. And then there would also be a conversion, because this palette is $17.50. And if you convert that to American dollars, the $17.50 is in euros. That's the method of currency that they use in Germany. They're on the euro system. So if you convert that to American dollars, it would be $18.74 in American dollars. Then you tack on $15 shipping if you were to order this, and now you're up to $30-something for one palette. So that's a significant amount of money. So that's another reason why I felt like it was really important for me to review this. Okay, so something that you need to keep in mind before I start talking about the palette itself is I think it's important to say what I used for products before I even used the palette. As part of my skincare routine, I use Cetaphil lotion. Cetaphil, Cetaphil, Cetaphil. I used to remember how to pronounce this, and I've been using it almost my whole life, so I should definitely know that. But anyways, I'm sure a lot of you guys are familiar with this. This is my moisturizing lotion that I use on my face when I get out of the shower. And then before I start all my makeup, I use Smashbox Photo Finish Primer Water. This is a very hydrating, moisturizing primer. Perfect for somebody like me who has dry skin, who's an older person. And then I prime my area with MAC Painterly Paint Pot, which is a, I would say, you know, it's a creamy base for eyeshadows. It's not supposed to be used as an eyeshadow primer, but a lot of people do use it as one. So this is just a beige cream eyeshadow that's a pretty neutral tone. So that's what I used as an eyeshadow primer. I feel like it's important to mention what products I used before I started using this so that you'll know that I didn't just apply these over dry skin. And when we get into it, you'll explain why I felt as if I needed to say that. Okay, so what you get in this palette is you get 10 eyeshadows that are in the taupe family, and then, you know, some of them are not taupe, but they're colors that look pretty with the taupe colors. And in yesterday's video, I said something about there being a burgundy. On closer inspection, I would say this is more of a mauve shade than a burgundy. It's like, I guess you could say it's a soft burgundy, but really it's more of a mauve. It's a purpley violet mauve type shade rather than a burgundy, straight up burgundy. So I just wanted to clarify that. But yeah, you get 10 shades in this palette. You get a beige called Stitch by Stitch, which is this. And then you get Spun Pearl, which is a white shimmer that has almost like a silvery tone to it. And then you get Handmade, which is a peach with gold shimmer in it, which kind of threw me because that doesn't really tie in with the colors from this palette. Then you get Sheers and Voiles. Anyways, this is sort of like, it's like a beigey color, but it's kind of a warm beige. That probably would work well with this peachy color that's right above it. And then this shade right here is Outline, and this is kind of a shimmery, warm brown. So these three shades right here would work well together with this warm beige right here. So those shades there are all fairly warm. And it's funny, when you first look at this palette, it doesn't look like that, but it is. And then this is Gallery. This is a warm matte taupe. And this, let's see, Hour by Hour. This is a, I'm gonna say it's a warm light taupe. And then Wrapped in Silk is a, I would say, warm taupe. Looks like it's got some gold or brassy type shimmer in it. This is Old Master, and this is a taupe with gold sparkles in it. And then Exquisite is a, I'm going to go with Warm Plum. I had said mauve before and burgundy, but I'm going to say Warm Plum. So at first glance, you would think that this would be a cool toned palette, but it's really not. It's actually very warm. And it doesn't come across that way so much on camera as it does in real life. So that's what it looks like up close. So it's a nice mixture of mattes, shimmers, and this one is very, very sparkly. Oh, wow. It's very similar to my nail polish. So yeah, it's a good assortment of finishes, is what I'm trying to say. So if you lived in Europe and you bought this palette and you paid $17.50 for it, it would break down to about $1.75 each is what you'd pay. So, you know, very reasonably priced. The packaging is cardboard and very modern and classy looking. I really like the packaging, and it's you know, pretty sturdy cardboard. It feels like it would hold up fairly well. And on the back it gives you a little more information about the eyeshadows themselves. It says no parabens, no mineral oils, no fragrances, no phthalates, superior pigmentation, easy to blend with vitamin E, made in Italy. But this is a German company. So that is, that's good that they included that on there just to give you an idea about the formula. So when I first dug into this, I was kind of torn as to what direction to go with it. And what I decided to do is I used Spun Pearl as my highlight shade, my brow bone highlight, and I immediately noticed that it was dry and difficult to blend. I had a heck of a time blending it into my skin. And keep in mind, I had already used face moisturizer, hydrating primer, and a MAC paint pot. And MAC paint pots are known as being creamy and a great base for eyeshadows. So I was pretty thrown by that. But I thought, well, you know, maybe it's just that shade. Then the next thing I decided to do was I decided to go in with Hour by Hour, which is this shade right here. I thought that would be a really great transition shade to use because I had planned on using something else in the crease, so I wanted to use a transition shade to make sure the crease color was going to blend out more easily. So I put that in my crease and was surprised at how closely it actually was to my skin tone because I wasn't really expecting it to be, but it actually worked out as a good choice for a transition color, except for it was dry, powdery, and difficult to blend. Now, it wasn't too much of a problem because it is very close to my skin tone, so I didn't have to worry about it being noticeable in any way. So that worked out okay as a transition shade. Then what I decided to do was use Exquisite because I was really curious about this color because I am very drawn to anything that is burgundy, mauve, any of those types of shades. So I really wanted to use this as a crease color. And again, it was dry, powdery. I had an awful time trying to blend it. Then I had like too much on one side and not on the other, and when I needed to add more to the other side, it was just very, very difficult to blend. And then I had to take my C brush by e.l.f. to blend out the edges because it just it was really tough to work with. Sadly, I'm sad to say. Then what I decided to do was, once I realized that these eyeshadows were sort of a mixture of pigmentation. Some are more pigmented than others, and as you go along and swatch them, you can kind of see that. So I thought, okay, before I go any further, I need to swatch this Old Master. I just thought that was such a gorgeous color that I definitely wanted to use that on my lids. And in terms of pigmentation, that was okay in pigmentation, so I thought, okay, I'm just gonna go for it. And then I really wasn't that crazy about the way that it looked as a lid shade because I felt like it was a little dark for my skin tone. So I decided to use some of this Wrapped in Silk on top of this shade to sort of lighten up the lid shade a little bit, and then I liked it a lot more. But just in general, every single shadow was very dry, very powdery, very difficult to blend, and I cannot, in all good conscience, recommend this palette to any of you that was considering ordering Zoeva, especially internationally. Maybe if you lived in Europe and you saw this in a store, $17.50 might not be a lot of money to spend to get 10 eyeshadows, so then it might be worth it. But if you're ordering internationally and you have a conversion rate and a shipping cost to deal with, I really don't feel like, this would be worth $30-something, because there are a lot of palettes that you could buy for a lot less money that would be better quality. Now, this is just my experience. Like I said, my friend loves this palette, and she is she's 10 years younger than me. I think skin-wise, I believe she has oily skin, so that might be what we're talking about here. It might just be a case of dry skin versus oily skin. So if any of you have any experience with Zoeva products, by all means, please leave your comments down below so we can kind of figure this out, because for me, I just found these very difficult to work with. So if you have oily skin, you might really like this palette like my friend does, but for me, I felt like they were way too powdery and way too difficult to blend to even consider making a purchase to their website internationally. Now, the end result, I think, is really pretty, and if I had not said what I did, you might not have even known what my experience was in using these. So the end result, I think it looks good, but too hard to work with and too dry. I was really tempted at the end to take my Smashbox Photo Finish Primer Water and just spray the whole eye area with this, because you can put this on as a primer, or you can just use it, you can use it as a primer, as a setting mist, or as a refresher. You can just pretty much do anything with this stuff. I love it. So I was really tempted to spray the whole thing with this when I was done, so it would look a little less powdery, but I was afraid that it might not be a good end result, and I have to go out in a few minutes, so I didn't think that was a good idea, because if I have to start over again from scratch doing my makeup, I might not have time. Someone's going to be coming soon, and we're going to be going out. So I didn't do that, but I was really tempted to, because it's just very, very powdery looking. But like I said, you wouldn't really be able to tell just by looking at it that it is powdery. But yeah, it was a lot of work, and I don't recommend it. And I really thought that was important to know. I forgot to look. I was going to look to see if anybody had ever reviewed this product on YouTube, but my gut instinct tells me that there probably aren't that many, if any, reviews of this. So I hate to give this a negative review because it was a gift, but I feel like it's important to be honest, and I want you guys to always be able to trust what I say and know that even when I get something for free, that I'm not going to lie and say that I love it when I don't. So that is it. That's my review for the Zoeva on Taupe eyeshadow palette, and I hope you liked this video. Please give it a thumbs up if you did, because, like I said, this is a very awkward situation for me. But, yeah, honesty is always the best policy, I think. So that's it for today, you guys, and I'll see you next time. Bye.